Assalamu alaikum. We're gonna be doing by request Whiskey is My Kind of Lullaby by Johnny Hobo and the Freight Trains. So the way I'm gonna be teaching this is not exactly like strictly like the definitive version, because I don't think that there super is any one definitive version in the way of playing this song or how it was recorded. And so I'm really just focusing on like teaching the key, heart of the song, or like the core components that you really need to play it. Because I think if you were to listen to the different recordings as I have in figuring the song out, you'll find that many of them are very different in some of the minutia of how Pat plays the guitar part for this song. It is pretty, it can be played as bar chords or with like kind of like, it can be played exclusively with power chords. Those are pretty simple, or like what I'd call like pseudo bar chords, or like, which I guess I'll just jump right in here and show you. It's in the key of E. We're in a compound time signature, so that means we're counting to 3. So our first chord is, we're tuned to standard, by the way. E, A, D, G, B, E. And our first chord is E major, which is gonna be open string, lowest open E, second fret on A, second fret on D, first fret on G, and then B and E. And then our next chord is G sharp, which is played up at the 4th fret on the E, and then 6, 6, 5. So G sharp major, and then we can just slide that shape up 1 to get 5th fret on the low E, 7th on the A, 7th on D, 6th on the G string, and then slide that up 2 frets to get our last chord that we need to learn, which is the B. B major on 7th on the lowest, 9th on the A, 9th on D, and 8th on the G string. Okay, that's a lot of numbers. I will say that the video that I watched, the video I was able to find that was him playing it live, he also does a B major rooted on the A string, and that's gonna be just ignoring the lowest string, and 2, 4, 4, 4, and I think he plays it like I play it, just barring like that, and then plays an A7. I think it might be an A7. I'm sure it looks like it, or just an A, kind of open position 0, 2, 2, 2. That doesn't seem to me, in the things that I've watched of him doing it, super like consistent in where it's placed. I think it's just convenient for him, and he wants to go to something a little closer, or he doesn't, and so you can really interchange them pretty easily. So let's learn the structure of the song. It is, I would say, it's a verse, what I would call like a pre-chorus, a chorus, and then there's an interlude. And I think it's only 2 verses and 2 choruses, and then the song's done. I guess that depends on the version too, that theirs might be an intro, trumpet intro. But we start out, if you're gonna do the intro, with our verse progression, which is, starts on E, going to G sharp, and then A, and A for double. So it goes. And that's the first half of the verse progression. The second half, and this will just loop after this, is going to be very similar, but instead of going to G sharp, we go to B, and then we go back down to A. So it's basically the same thing, but we're just exchanging that G sharp for B. So it goes, this is the full verse progression, and we'll loop this a couple of times. Well, more than a couple, I think. I think the same thing for the intro, and we'll come back to it for the interlude, I'll call it. And so what we have is same thing for the verse. I was a loner until there were no friends left. And I don't have the word with me, but I'm pretty sure we loop this 4 times. The verse, and I will say on the last time through the verse, what we'll do is on that second part of the progression, we'll go, this is the first part, right? The G sharp. And then this second part, we go to B, we go to A, and then we come back to B, and then we go into the pre-chorus. So I'm trying to think of what the line for that is. Anyway, I can't get it right now, but we go, it's the E, B, A, B, and that's just when you're going to the pre-chorus. So let's go to the pre-chorus. Pre-chorus starts with 5 what I'll call hits. They're just like the, and what, it's hits, and then we go back to this kind of strumming progression. So we're on A for the hits, and it goes, and then so, I'll drink myself to death. And so that's the, on A, but I'll drink, and then it goes to E, B, and then back to the hits. Sorry, I got that part wrong. So we do the hits, and I think, do we do that 3 times? So, because it's, but I'll drink myself, so it's, but I'll drink myself to death, or at least, I'll drink myself to sleep, chain smoke my way through the gaps between my aspirations and my apathy. And so those, on that very last line, my aspirations and my apathy, my aspirations and my apathy, we go back up to B and kind of continue those hits. Okay, and now we're to the chorus. We go to E, and we're just gonna walk up the chorus that we learned to us. As I drive past G sharp, the last exit, A, to home I am leaving, waving goodbye, and I repeat, might just be sleeping. That's the E to the G sharp. In this tonight, but it's alright. That's the A, and then, cause whiskey is my kind of B, lullaby. And then we go back to this verse for the interlude. So that's basically it, and then it goes back to the verse and does another one of the whole thing, and that's the song. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. If there's any other requests, I'd be happy to oblige, as I guess within my terms. I don't know. What are my terms? But hope it was helpful. Hope you learned something, and hope you can share this song with the world, folks. Take care.